Hi, everybody. I'm Mel Doerr. I'm so excited. I got Linda G in the house today who looks fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
I told her before the show, I said, let me get you full screen so I can see your beautiful face.
Oh, thank you. You said you were going to put curlers in your hair, but you didn't have enough hair.
I was going to put curlers in my hair, but there's not enough of it. But you know, grass doesn't grow on a busy street. Doesn't grow on concrete either, but
Well, my friend, what a literal. So Mika and Joe this morning, she just was taking off on, I can't, I accidentally had it on. That's the only MSNBC I won't watch is her.
yeah, I like her.
You like her?
I'm sorry. No, I like her husband. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, because she was really laying into Biden. Listen, my friend, did we vote for Biden based on Afghanistan?
No. And here's the other part of it. Biden didn't get us into this doo-doo sandwich in Afghanistan. The Republicans did years ago, and Trump is the one who pulled us out. And, you know, both you and I said months ago that when we pull out of Afghanistan, it's going to follow the Taliban. So here we are.
Right.
Biden inherited.
Here's the other thing, too. I honest to God, I could see Biden being very angry, by the way.
He is.
I saw him furious at his military, wondering if they were setting him up, trying to act like, yeah, we can leave and everything will be okay. Who knew the people that fought the British, that fought the Russians? Who knew after $2 trillion and we given them a police and we gave them a military, that as soon as we step away, they just hand their weapons over to the Taliban? Who knew?
Plus, what really frosted me is when Pompeo said, oh, I negotiated a deal with the Taliban. Hello? That's like negotiating with Satan. It's
no,
like,
you can't trust a word they say.
I think Biden is mad because military intelligence was probably way off. But
right, because there's other military that I'm hearing about that said, oh, you walk away, they'll just take over. And they were right.
That's right. But yet when Trump was in office, people were screaming about saving American lives and getting out of Afghanistan. And now that Biden is president,
Biden did what Trump started. Now it's impeach him. They're talking about impeachment.
Well, that's not going to happen, you know. But you know, the bottom line is Trump's base is Trump's base. It's not going to change until you know. And so,
but you know, they're a little bit like the Taliban.
They are exactly.
It's all about religion, which it's not. It's about power.
And you know what? It's happening here. We think that it's in a far away land, but you know, a smaller version happened here. Look at the insurrectionists. Look at how they're trying to limit people's rights to vote in southern states. Look at how they play to the ultra-right conservative Christians who don't like you unless you're white and upper class. God forbid you're gay or black or Hindu or Muslim, you know? And so we're doing the same thing in this country to a degree.
And listen, if this happened on Trump's watch just now, all of this stuff that's happening, people running and everything and jumping on planes, the right would be saying, oh, well, we spent $2 trillion. You should have took care of yourself.
Trump left this country in one big poop sandwich. And it's about, you know what, is trying to clean it up.
But can I ask you, because I could see Biden being furious, and I told you about this.
I see the
I saw him talking to his higher ups, and I almost feel that he felt he was not told the truth. Like they were telling him, yeah, go ahead and leave. So is it Trumpsters running the deal? I think heads will be hit. I think people will be replaced. And I feel him furious. And then I also see him doing something. What is it that he's doing? What are you feeling, Mel?
You're right. He wasn't told the truth or the whole story. And he's really angry. I mean, and behind closed doors, I mean, he's popping an aneurysm.
Yeah.
And I think there are going to be people that get in and higher up that get fired for this.
That's what I'm feeling. A
lot of replacements coming in. You know, he sent in 3,000 more troops, but as we speak, 6,000. I'm sorry, but as we speak, Afghanistan is falling.
But they did open up that other part of the airport now. It's running again.
Right.
I think he's going to do something. He might bring in 20,000 more troops just to get the people out that we're supposed to get out. Because we still have Americans stuck there.
I do see an escalation of troops there. even
Okay.
more than the 6,000. And you're right to get people out. I mean, to help get people out. Absolutely.
Right.
You know, it was a war that nobody could win.
Right.
I mean, you're right. The French were there. I think the Russians were there for all those years. But here's what I predict. My intuition or my prediction is that a lot of the warlords in the north of Afghanistan, like I said, will band together at some point against the Taliban. And a lot of the people that are in exile and underground, the people that are there, as I said, I think are going to fight back against the Taliban at some point. It'll take a while, but you'll see it.
Well, it's like I said yesterday, because I had my vision with Jesus, sometimes I'll get that if I'm lucky. And Jesus showed me that the women are the ones who are going to save Afghanistan, but they were partaking of the fruit. So the fruit of freedom, the fruit of free speech.
Right.
Unlike the North Koreans who never really got to partake with the fruit, they've gotten a taste of it. So the seed is planted, and so it may take 3-4 generations, but you will see underground stuff taking place to where they finally, because those people are working in a vicious manner.
Oh, yeah.
Just horrible. And so killing people for they're telling people to turn on their TVs and watch the executions like it's a sport.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
And they do that to send warnings to people. If you mess with us, here's what will happen to you.
Yeah. But don't remember, you guys, that people losing their lives are heroes because there's really no death.
I think that we should send our prayers and healing energy to those families and those people that are losing their lives for standing up for what they believe. And they're standing up for freedom. And that should be a message to all of us to stand up for our freedoms and not let anyone take away our voting rights. No state, no president, nothing. We need to stand up and say, we will not allow this to happen here.
Right. And also, I feel the fathers of the girls that were taken, the mothers and fathers, they're going to do something. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, yeah, I agree. You don't want to see in my head what the Taliban is going to do. I'm not going to describe it because it's too horrific to even describe.
Right.
There's going to be massive.
But it's nothing to do with religion. It's nothing to do with religion at all.
Do you think
they got famous from puppies? They're heroin dealers.
Do you think
and the Taliban, real quick, the Taliban in the 1990s and now are night and day. Right now, they own more helicopters than Australia does, the Australian military.
Well, here's what I see, that the Taliban is going to continue to build arms because they're getting a lot of oil money. They're being supported by China. And what's going to happen is they're going to start invading other countries in the Middle East that are destable. And that's kind of like the Middle East Hitler, if you will. And they're going to end up taking over a lot of countries until it's at least some people, push back and band together to push back. Somebody asked me if this could start a world war. Ooh, and I thought that was a very, very good question. And
I didn't think of it.
It could put us on the brink of one.
Because I do see what you're saying. I don't see them stuck in Afghanistan. I see them stretching out.
And you'll see an increase in terrorism in this country from outside, but also from inside with these, because it just gives those insurrectionists here fuel for their fire.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but there's just a bloodbath. But
I see them turning on, I don't know if it's the Chinese, why would they do that, and or Russia, but I see them doing something a little underhanded. There's snakes in the grass, and so is Putin, but he might get a little taste of his own.
I think they're going to kind of play hobnob with China until they get what they want, because China would like to get its fingers in the Middle East as well.
Right.
So, as I said, it's going to get a lot more tense in the Middle East. And thank God.
Biden's coming on at 3:45 p.m. today.
Well,
and I honest to God feel he was like, he was stuck with what Trump left, but also $2 trillion American lives lost, training these people, helping these people. And then literally they just dropped it. It's as soon as, oh, you guys are leaving? Okay, well, I'm done.
Well, that's because the United States didn't help train their armies all that well. They were dependent on us. And now we pulled away and we left them high and dry. But you just brought up something I'd like to touch on. $2 trillion, but yet they let Trump spend more money than any president in history, wasted over $2 trillion in human lives on that war. But yet, a lot of them did not want to put the money in the infrastructure because according to Mitch McConnell, we're spending too much money. Really? I mean, all this hypocrisy, it just gets me insane.
Did you see our Liz Cheney? Although her dad's a big part of this, but did you see what she said? She does think Biden handled it wrong. I think he got the wrong intel, but she is talking about Pompeo, and she blames them, Pompeo and Trump.
Oh, totally. If there's any fingers of blame, it goes to them. You know, I got to do.
And they're removing everything off Trump's website where he said, even a month or two ago at one of his rallies, I'm the one who said remove everybody from Afghanistan.
Yeah, right.
And Biden has no choice now. I put it in play, and he needs to do this.
Well, also, you know, I understand that Trump had gotten, like, through somebody else, messages out on Twitter, and now they suspended those accounts as well. So it's crazy. I got to do a few shout outs before we go further. Okay. I got to, you know, Linda, I love training dogs, and I help certify dogs for Canine Good Citizens. So last night, on Sunday nights, we trained. And so Trooper, whose handler Jamie Kirby, and Zoe, whose handler is Doris, they passed their Canine Good Citizen test last night.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's amazing what dogs can do. And it's just sad that so many get murdered in this country every year because there's too many, and these kill shelters kill dogs, because my dogs ended up being a service dog. So everybody just stand up and say no more kill shelters. Also, I've got to say hi to Michael Apodaca. He's an RN. He was a supervisor. He was a nurse, and he suffered a stroke.
Oh.
And so let's send him healing energy. His partner of 25 years, Robert Bohannon, called me, and they're both fans of you, Linda.
Oh, hi, you guys. Oh, but what's the stroke about? How serious is it?
Well, it was a pretty serious stroke. And since he's left-handed, it's just the opposite. So it affected, you know, usually if you're left-handed, the paralysis is on the right side of your brain, but I think the stroke was on his right side.
Which means his left side is
affected the speech centers. Hold on just one second. Anyway, so Robert and Michael, healing energy. Robert is being a wonderful caretaker for Michael.
And a lot of love to you and light.
And healing.
Yes. I will be done.
Ooh, I could feel the energy of that.
I actually see him making some progress.
Actually, he's doing.
I see extensive physical therapy and him actually being able to make some progress. I've seen horrible cases. My daughter's grandmother on her stepmom's side, she was in the senior center, and she went to breakfast faithfully at 7:30 every day, and one morning she didn't show up. And these people, instead of saying, someone go check on Mary, she didn't show up, lunch comes and she still wasn't heard of, so then they go. And she had a stroke and was down, and the doctors literally told my daughter that you know, she's probably going to die. She even had the death rattle. Not only did she recover from that stroke, she ended up living maybe another 15-20 years.
Wow. Well, according to Robert, Michael has some issues, some aphasia. Expressive aphasia means that you think of the word, but it doesn't come out right because the stroke can affect speech centers in the brain. So he's got some of that. And I think, you know, I think that he's got some, I might have the side wrong, but some issues going on with the right side of his body. But according to Robert, he's coming along well.
As long as you caught it early.
But he had a massive stroke. And I was just wondering, he's young, he's in his 50s. I think
was it from working?
I think he had COVID, and sometimes I think COVID could cause it.
That's very common. I usually blows a clot from somewhere. Yeah.
Exactly. But anyway, and I got to give a shout out once again to Foxes Afloat. It's this couple in Great Britain who not cruise around, but sail around the canals in Great Britain. And it's really cool stuff. It's really informative and it's kind of fun. So
Cool, cool.
so those are my shout outs, dear.
Okay, okay.
Do you have any?
No, I have a shout out to all the other psychics working desperately to bring in well-being for all of us, and pray for Afghanistan. Pray for Haiti. Oh my God, I found a good place to donate money, by the way. Do not give to the American Red Cross. They're the ones the last time in the 90s when that huge earthquake happened, that there was more deaths. They took $500 million and couldn't explain why it didn't go to Haiti.
My father told me a story about the American Red Cross when he was in World War II. He was in toward the end of the war. He was in Belgium and then went down through France, went to Germany, and then they steamed to Japan. While they were on their way, the bomb was dropped. But he said that the American Red Cross would have cigarettes for the GIs, but they wouldn't give it to them. They made the servicemen pay for the cigarettes.
Oh yeah, even their coffee sometimes.
Exactly. So that's why I just don't donate to the American Red Cross.
I don't either.
Okay, so Linda, to whom can people donate to help the people of Haiti?
It's on my website. I don't
Okay.
have my phone with me, but if you want me to text it to you, you can put it on the bottom of your thing.
Perfect.
I'll text it to you.
So let's talk about Haiti, shall we?
Yeah, poor Haiti.
Uh,
Just so poverty stricken. You know those sad stories, and then the dog died? That's what I think of with Haiti. They just have been, but can I tell you, when I look at them, I feel like a joy, like, because they're all about just surviving and their families.
I think it's one of the poorest countries in
Of
the world.
course.
And people are asking me about aftershocks in Haiti, and I do see some aftershocks coming.
There have been.
And there's more. But
There's another 7-pointer today, but it was in the South Sandwich Islands.
well, I think there's a couple more coming. The Sandwich Islands, I think, is that near Hawaii? I don't know. But anyway, there's more coming. But what's scaring me is there's a tropical storm bearing down on Haiti.
Yeah. Is it going to hit directly?
I think so.
Okay.
Or
Because it's scooting by Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's not going to get it really bad.
right. But anyway, and I hope it doesn't hit St. Croix either, because I got friends on St. Croix. But we had predicted it's going to be a lot more hurricanes this year, tropical storms, because of climate change. And so here we are. The earthquake had nothing to do with that, but I understand that there was 1,200 killed, numerous missing. And so let's send healing energy to Haiti.
Okay.
All right. So people are asking about, this is a good one. Cuomo's replacement.
Oh, did you see Giuliani's son is going to run for governor now? Because he's going to pardon his father.
Exactly. We had said that, after that whoever replaces Cuomo, that the Republicans would, try to make it look even more bad so they could get a Republic again to pardon Giuliani and to pardon Trump. That's what they're thinking. But the joke.
I do not see New York voting for a Republican, period.
I don't either.
I don't know about this woman coming in. She feels like she doesn't make a great impression. I feel someone more dynamic will come in.
I think she'll be a tough cookie, but
You do?
But I still see somebody more dynamic coming in.
I see someone else coming in.
And here's what people are asking me. They're
What?
saying, okay, what Cuomo did was a horrible thing, of course. And I feel bad for the women that were victimized always.
Yeah.
Like in Afghanistan, my heart bleeds for those poor women. But what people are asking is, okay, why did Cuomo, everybody criticized him so much, but nobody said anything with Trump and Kavanaugh and all that stuff, and it's grab them by the what.
Oh,
And-
I know, but we did say stuff, but it's that they do nothing burger. It's like, don't look here. Even Trump talking about Afghanistan, now they're removing it off the pages, although we have screenshots, but
But people are wondering why nothing is happening to Trump and all of those, and why Cuomo, I think Cuomo was forced to resign by Democrats. it just shows they have much more of a conscience, I think, than some
Yeah.
Republicans do.
Yeah.
But, you know, people are still getting impatient with Trump, and, you know, the outcome's the same. He's going to be indicted.
I'm telling you, he's got trouble coming. I know how people are feeling. Somebody put on Twitter today, what do you think, where do you think Sarah Palin gets her, not Sarah Palin,
Marjorie
what's her
Taylor
name?
Greene.
Sarah Huckabee or whatever her name is, the ex press person for Trump.
Oh, Sarah Huckabee.
Where did she get her earrings? She had a pair of earrings, weren't ugly. They were just different earrings. And I just have to say, you know what? I absolutely could care less.
Yeah, who cares, right?
I don't care what Sarah's wearing, what Kelly O'Donnell or whatever her name is doing. I could care less. The world is falling apart here. Somebody was complaining about losing 3 followers because of something they said, which wasn't that horrific. I said, you know what? The world is falling apart.
Linda, I lose followers too because maybe something.
And it's like, why don't you focus in on the status of this world now? Do something. Give money towards things to help the homeless. We're falling apart here, and people are going to get all riled up about an outfit somebody's wearing. It's like,
Who cares?
it's the way we are. We're very judgmental.
I don't like my Aloha shirts either, but I'm the Aloha shirt psychic thanks to you. You helped me rebrand. Anyway, okay, shall we get to some questions, my dear?
Yeah.
Okay. Mel, I have a couple of friends who are Trumpers. They have been telling me to prepare extra food and water for some big event that could take place down the grid. I'm not paying attention when they talk about it, but would like to know what you and Linda see. And is that coming soon?
No,
I don't feel that either.
it's not going to happen. It's all that, oh, you should see some of these people writing up this end of the world dynamics. No, it's not going to happen.
I saw a cartoon with this guy wearing a sign. It said, the world will end tomorrow at noon. And the next day was noon. It said, tomorrow will end the next day at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They keep with September 13th is now a new day.
Well, I think there's going to be some insurrection and some
Right,
violence.
and there's some terrorist groups. So what? But you know,
I
did you
see.
see New York where the people were talking against wearing a mask? You know, New York is shut. New York won't let you do anything unless you're vaccinated. And all these people came out, and they were the people who the anti-protesters who came out. They were beating the hell out of them. And the New York Police Department stood there and watched.
Wow.
I think New York has a lot of Trumpsters in it, police-wise.
They do, but they won't win.
No.
Okay. I just see another attempted insurrection, something big coming in September, but it won't succeed.
I keep seeing the FBI and the CIA saying, we found something. We found something. Like they're going to be able to even cut it off at the pass.
I think Biden's going to get rid of a lot of those Trumpers in the FBI, the CIA, and the DOJ.
So what do you think what Durham's come up with?
But as we speak, what I do see is the FBI's already infiltrated a lot of those ultra-right organizations. So.
Okay, but what do you think about Durham? He said there's a lot of FBI people going down based on what he found.
Wait, Durham's, I'm sorry, run that by me again.
Durham, you know, Durham, the one that Trump was saying, Durham will find the corruption.
Right, exactly.
And he was supposed to he was supposed to really look at something, Barr put him in place. And Biden said, yeah, let him finish his work. Well, he's finished his work, and apparently it's going to cost the FBI.
Right. You know, it's going to overturn the people that colluded with Trump as opposed to the other way around.
That's what I was feeling. In fact, back when I read on it years ago, I said, it's enough. He's desperately looking. He's turning over every page, but it's a nothing burger.
It's just like the fraud in Arizona about the election, same stuff, you know.
Right.
And those people are going to get sued by those voting machine companies.
Oh, I know. And they're going to win too. And by the way, where's the numbers?
They're not there. The chickens ate them. Remember that one?
Oh, Jesus.
I haven't eaten fried chicken ever since.
Now I'm in the mood for some fried chicken.
Yeah, me too. Okay, this is a good one. Will you and Linda ask your brides about the future of evangelical Christianity in the US? Will these folks have a real come to Jesus moment and discover that the hatred for or dismissal of any group of people is opposite to what Christ taught? Well,
What were you feeling?
the way I look at it is if they are that judgmental and they're that full of hate, they might call themselves Christians, but really they're not.
No, they're not.
Christ
Like
taught
like the Taliban trying to act like they're for the Quran, but they're not.
right. I think, those of us who are more like Christ taught love and acceptance and things like that, ultimately will win out. That's what
Well, a lot of them are dying now, thanks to them being totally against it, getting any kind of vaccine.
it's the anti-vax.
It's almost like the God force is filtering them out. I mean, one of the big preachers that was on the air talking, don't get the vaccine and stuff, he's intubated as we speak. Not looking good.
I don't wish that on anybody, but I do see it as rather karmic.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. As more and more children are contracting COVID-19 and being put on respirators, will schools be closed down again?
I see them having that closed, not totally, but they were insisting that everybody come to school, and like 180 people got tested positive, so they shut it down in some areas. Some areas, yeah.
I like you, I foresee shutdowns in some areas, but what I do see coming out within the next couple of months is a vaccine for kids.
Okay.
And the kids that get it, even if they then get COVID, it'll be a breakthrough infection, and kids are dying of this. It's horrible.
Horrible.
And so, we have our own Holocaust going on in this country with COVID.
Right, exactly.
And
exactly.
so, here again, a lot of the anti-vaxxers won't want their kids to get the shot, but I think the schools will say, okay, if you're not going to get the vaccine, at some point in a lot of areas are going to say you can't come to school.
Right. Well, like in New York and in San Francisco, you got to show your card.
Just like they did with us when we had to go to school. We had to show proof of vaccine.
Yeah.
Unless there's some medical reason why a kid can't get it, then they'll wear masks.
Right.
But
right.
I do see a few more shutdowns.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that I've even read that really can't get the vaccine. Honest to God, they can't get it. They would do it if they could.
Well, for people who have a medical reason not to get vaccinated,
they'll give them a special card. Yeah.
I totally understand that. Those aren't the ones I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm talking about the ones who thinking it's going to rewire your RNA. They don't even know what RNA means.
No.
And it's just conspiracy crap. But anyway.
Right.
Okay. I like this one. May I ask to have both of you read on the USA founding parents as to their thoughts of the last 5.5 years? Okay. It's from Pamela. I'm sure they're turning over in their graves.
So the founding parents, what is she talking about?
Like the people
who wrote up the Constitution, or she talking about George Washington?
I'm thinking probably even back to when the Declaration of Independence, or when the Constitution was signed, the founding fathers. I say the founding parents because women helped with it too.
Right.
So she just wants to know what they're thinking about what's been going on in this country within the past 5.5 years.
A lot of them have taken other bodies and they're down here working on this now.
I agree with that, but the ones that are still in spirit are really angry. That's what
I think. Well, the thing is that when we made the United States, it was always about freedom from religion.
Right.
Separation of church and state. And religion always manages to rear its ugly head. And it's always based on what your idea of God is.
Exactly.
That's the burning of women that they called witches. It was all about we're right and you're wrong.
Well, like with Salem and that whole hysteria that happened about people being accused of witchcraft, a lot of it was political, but a lot of it shows what happens when people ascribe to conspiracy theories.
I know.
Innocent people die, they get hurt. And at some point, I do see common sense taking hold again.
And also with McCarthyism.
Exactly. And yeah, exactly. And that's kind of, the whole Trumplicate movement's almost like a modern McCarthyism, but that will go by the wayside.
Something's going to happen in the United States. It could even be because of this Taliban thing. Something's going to happen that will bring, one thing about the United States is when we have something, an outside entity come to try to attack us, we come together.
I do see acts of terrorism against the United States from the Taliban, and it's sponsored by them. And that will unite us together.
It'll unite us because we're like, oh, hell no. We can complain amongst ourselves, but don't you try to get in here.
And you know what? They're going to try to influence elections too to get the Democrats out of power because they know what they can do with the Republicans.
Yeah, because they're sheep following sheep.
And don't kid yourself, behind the scenes, I'm sure Trump and some of his cronies are talking to some of those people in the Taliban. How much you want to bet?
Oh, I'm sure they are.
As we speak.
I'm sure they are.
And at some point, my guides show me that will be uncovered.
Oh, it will be? Oh, good.
It'll take a while.
I just can feel Biden being furious.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Let me tell you, he's not scared about what people will think. He's not worried about his numbers dropping. That's not his thing at all. Whatever. I'm doing what I can do to try to save us right now. But I feel he really feels mad about I also heard he did get information that they would just drop everything and leave. But for some reason, he chose to believe these other 4-star generals.
Yeah, they didn't have any information. This reminds me reminiscent of Vietnam when Vietnam fell.
And everybody was mad at Johnson. And
Nick,
it wasn't Johnson's thing. In fact, he decided not to run because he knew he'd lose.
right. But then what happened is Nixon pulled out. And I mean, look what happened.
Right.
Anyway, this is a good one from Arlene. I'm reading Dolores Cannon's books about Nostradamus' prophecy. What do either of them have to say from the other side about the Antichrist, World War III, and the horrific future he saw, specifically since many of his prophecies about the last popes didn't occur? How does that change our future? What can they tell us? I've got an answer to that one.
What?
Some of the stuff that Nicodemus, that's one of my guides, that Nostradamus prophesied, like they said that he predicted Hitler. He did not. He predicted a war along a river called Hister, which was the Rhine. And that war happened, but it was a long time ago. So some of his stuff, I think, has just been.
Well, it's humans trying to define Nostradamus, and if it's written by man, forget about it.
Exactly. So
just like the Bible, a lot of that is man interpreting.
Right. Exactly.
It's really from something greater. It's easy to. It's all about love over there. It's nothing to do with all this.
Well, like the 5 Gospels of the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, the first 4, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, those were written like 100 years after Christ died. And think about it. It would be like us trying to write about George Washington right now based on just what was passed down orally. I mean, do you really think he threw a quarter across the Potomac?
Don't forget the emperor that, what's his name? He decided we were going to change to Catholicism. His mother went down. And they cut and paste the Bible. They got rid of the stuff that involved women being strong.
Right. That was key. Was that Henry VIII?
And Constantine.
Oh, Constantine.
Emperor Constantine.
Right. But then Henry VIII, the same thing. He was like, he was mad because the Catholic Church wouldn't grant him a divorce so he could marry Anne Boleyn, I think. And he said, screw you, I'll just start my own church.
Right.
Anyway, okay. Hi, Mel. So thankful for you and Linda. You all made the last few years bearable. Linda goes back further than I do. Linda, you've made the past 5 years bearable.
Right. Thank you. Okay.
What is going on with Devil Nunes? You want to take that one, or
I just saw him packing his bags.
Right. Says he's very quiet since Trump left. Yeah, that's true. I see him gone, just gone.
I see he knows he's in trouble too.
And he's going to have to testify in front of some committees. And, as we speak about this, I see Nancy Pelosi pulling together, or the Senate or somebody, pulling together a committee to investigate presidential crimes. And
Oh, they're already doing that.
I think it's the 1-6 commission, but I don't think they have a huge,
They're looking at Trump right now in that way.
it will happen, by the way.
Yeah.
And they'll call him to testify and he'll refuse. So they can get a warrant that way too.
So Nancy Pelosi is going to bring both bills to be voted on.
The bills for what?
And 6 of the Democrats said they won't vote for it.
Which bill?
Or they won't. The New Deal, that one and the other one that's going to help people. By the way, Biden upped the amount of money people get from food stamps too.
Good. You know what? I see that New Deal going through.
I do too, but why would these 3 Democrats say they're not going to vote on it?
I don't know, but you know what? At some point they will. And I still see them striking a deal.
Well, a lot of people are going to wake up come 2022 when, even though they changed the rules, they're going to find out that are the people who want all the stuff that Biden's giving us come out like ants. It's just like this thing with Governor Newsom. I don't care if they're saying it's 50-50 right now. I see Newsom winning because he's giving a $600 check to all Californians coming up. That's your deal right there, okay?
Did he do it to be a nice guy because he wanted to win? I think it was more because he wanted to win, but it was a smart.
Well, and like I said about Biden, one of the ones he won is that vote for me and I'll cut you a $1,200 check. Are you kidding?
That's right. People are wondering if unemployment will be extended. I see yes.
Well, I see so many jobs coming out. It's hard for them to justify that.
Well, I think it'll be extended one more time, but I think also
I see jobs.
Well, there's a shortage of workers, like in restaurants and all kinds.
Yes.
Because of COVID, I think.
I don't see where anybody would want to be a nurse or a teacher anymore.
No way.
They have not enough nurses or teachers, but why would you do it? Why would you risk your life because some idiot says, I'm not going to get the vaccine? And let me tell you, did you see, just like we were talking about, that the insurance people are saying they're going to charge higher rates for people? They'll make it so high, it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to charge higher rates for people who refuse to get the vaccine unless it was a medical reason.
And one of the airlines is saying, if you work for this airline, unless you have a valid medical reason, and if you don't get vaccinated, we're going to furlough you. And then if you don't get vaccinated after that, you're terminated.
United.
Well, I didn't want to say that.
Southwest is not doing that. And a couple of Delta's not doing it.
I know a lot of flight attendants and pilots with UAL. And so,
okay.
But I had predicted a lot of companies would do that. And I think they should.
Right.
Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it's my understanding that we're going through some major energy shifts right now. Will these help Mother Earth and those of us who are consciously trying to grow spiritually? Well, I think thoughts are things, and I think with us starting to speak up and talk out about climate change and what's happening with world politics, I'm sure it's going to make a
our thoughts is our key factor.
Right, that's
how
right.
we can help the world. I've been telling this since I started these videos, when my guide said you need to calm people down or you will help calm people down. First and foremost was to let them know Trump wasn't going to win again. But the other thing is they've been telling me, I saw St. Michael, I saw Jesus. Fasten your seatbelt because we're shifting big time. And all these other people can hold on to their sword and act like but if you'll notice, the people getting hit the hardest now are those people that are holding the sword saying, we have the right not to do this and that. And there's big weather changes coming too. It's I hate to say it, but it's almost like Haiti and the dog died, that kind of energy. It's just like one thing after the other getting ready to happen.
You know, my Hawaiian teacher taught me many years ago that when we make heva, heva means a wrong or a sin, if you will, against the land. Then Mother Nature, our spirit cleanses itself. The planet cleanses itself of that heva. And so when Hurricane Iniki hit Kauai back in 1992, it was devastating. Nobody died except for one drunk who climbed up a coconut tree. Never do that in a hurricane, by the way. But they felt that it was like to cleanse the heva that had been created. And I think Mother Earth is talking back. And
Right. Now she's not mad.
No, she's not angry.
Because people say, oh, Mother Earth is mad and going to, no, it's about reestablishing. There's a homeostasis that has to happen. And that can't, if we're leaning too much here, it's going to shift. It's just about making sure that we're at an equilibrium. That's it.
Shamanism 101, a lot of the Native American tribes and a lot, the Hawaiians, not shamanism, but it's close. We all believe in balance. And if one thing is out of balance, everything is. So you're right. Mother Earth is just trying to bring things back into balance. And let us know that's what we have to do.
Right.
But my guides show me the scales haven't tipped too far over. So some of the stuff that's done is irreversible, but the scales haven't tipped too far, and we can still rectify a lot of this climate change stuff for our future generations.
Right, exactly.
We have to be careful with it. Anyway, okay. Here's a good one. Will the Border Patrol and Immigration's Customs Enforcement ever be held accountable for their crimes and over-the-top corruption and how they pull children away from their parents at the border?
I hate to say this, but I'm not seeing it right now. It could happen in a couple of years, but I'm not seeing it.
What I am seeing is within the next maybe 5 years or something, when a lot of those people, are reunited, and when they're like older and they come out, they're going to start talking about the abuse. They're going to start talking about the way they were treated, and it's going to be explosive at that point. We're just not here yet.
Right. There's so much that we have to clean up, but we can't do it all right now.
It's just like, it's almost like when a tornado hits, everything is almost ruined. It's like, where do you start? And that's
exactly.
Okay. I live in Texas. This is CECE. I'm so furious at Abbott and his crooked friends. Do you see the people of Texas protesting? Well, I think they already are.
Yeah.
I'm so ready to hit the street and just scream my lungs out. Thank you. Will he stay in power?
No.
No, absolutely not.
No, I see them losing big with the Supreme Court. I don't know what this is, but I do see him getting voted out.
So do I. I've got a feeling Beto O'Rourke, I see him in a high government position.
I don't know which one. Is it governor or what is it?
I can't tell if it's governor or US Senate or something, but I got a feeling in years to come, maybe not, not in the foreseeable future, but at some point he's going to be president.
Oh, really?
But it's a long while off yet.
Okay. All right.
He's really amazing, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I love it.
Now I'll only be able to do one more question, sweetie.
Okay, I'm checking here. Hold on, just give me a second. Okay, here we go.
Can you believe we're almost at an hour?
I know. It goes by so quick, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Okay, here's a good one. Will DeSatan take away the salary of public school superintendents in Florida? What do you think for the COVID?
Oh, he'll try and he'll lose.
That's what I see. He'll try, but I think if it goes to court, the court will say,
they're saying no. And I see Biden actually throwing money that they have at them. So they can take it.
Biden will help them with the bailout.
Right.
So anyway, would you no more, right? We don't have time for another one. Are we done?
Yeah, well, got one more. I have one more to do and then I gotta get going.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Oh, here's a good one. Will the New York Lieutenant Governor taking over after Cuomo's resignation be under Republican pressure to coerce the dismissal of the Donald J. Trump prosecution? I don't see.
They may, but she's not going to do it.
She's not going to do it. Whoever takes her place is not going to do it either.
No.
So anyway.
I feel sorry for Giuliani's son because it's a nothing burger.
Giuliani's son, he better watch it because at some point they might get some stuff on him too.
I know, and he loves his dad. He loves his dad, just like Donald Jr. loves his dad.
Remember when Giuliani was sweating that brown stuff, whatever, that hair
So
dye?
embarrassing.
He's gonna be sweating orange in the future because
It's, you know, you can't blame kids for loving their parents. But he's feeding, you know, even Mo, whatever his name is, the guy that talks so terrible, and he's
oh yeah, Mo Brooks or whatever.
you know, his family says he's crazy.
He is crazy. He's so
Yeah.
terrible. And you know what? He's gonna come down too, Linda.
He's coming down. Mhm.
A lot of indictments.
I love it.
All right, my friend. I loved your video yesterday. You know, I'm your biggest fan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so
I
much.
just gotta say, I owe Linda so much.
Oh, no.
My guides have been
Guys.
telling me for years to do a YouTube, but I want to listen, and she encouraged me to do it, and here we are. So we've been.
Yeah, you know, I do this because I love it. The minute it gets too tiring, I'll stop, but
Well,
I do it because I love it. I love the people. I like that all the other teachers. It's wonderful.
I'll give you a little reading. I don't see you stopping anytime soon.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
They stop readings though, personal readings.
well, I think I'm gonna cut.
I
mine.
try to cut it down. And as much as I love meeting everybody, I think you know, I think I'm coming to the end. But if you want to book with me, yeah, you go to what is it, Grindel? No, you go to angelheart4you.net. And but I think 2022 is the end of the road for me. I've got to get this book done, and I'm having between reading and collaborating and doing videos, it's taking up a lot of time. So I've got to cut something.
So it's angelheart4you.net, correct?
.net.
I'll put that on the link below.
Okay, and I'm going to send you right now. I'm going to send you the link for the Haiti to give money to.
By the way, I want an autographed copy of your book because I think it's gonna do really well.
Oh, thank you. I'm doing the best I can, but I get interrupted too much. So
And then I can be like, I know her. I know her.
yeah, I might actually take a whole month of doing nothing just to write. So
Well,
I write best in the winter time with the rain and stuff. I write best in the winter.
you come to Chicago when there's a blizzard. What are you gonna do? You make warm soup and make chili and stay.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Anyway,
Thank you, sweetie.
you'll never give up doing your videos, by the way.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
think maybe what we should do is talk about, you know, getting a couple other psychics on, and maybe we could all do some kind of little 4 or 5 symposium thing.
They do that. If you'll notice, there's a lot of psychics out there that do that.
I know, but maybe you and I and a couple others, Dan or whoever, we could do it.
Sounds good.
It would be fun.
Okay.
All right, my dear. I love
Okay,
you.
honey.
Friends.
I love you. You take care.
Stay well. Bye-bye.